President of the Sahitya Akademi. Is it working? President of the Sahitya Akademi, Sri Tiwari Ji, the Secretary, Sri Srinivasa Rao, all the awardees, friends of the Academy, the friends of Indian literature who are present here, ladies and gentlemen. I congratulate all the awardees for children's literature in different Indian languages. They are fighting a formidable task. I will be very brief. In my discussion with several research scholars and experts on the world children literature, I can make a summary of a formidable question which is raised by them. Where is the child today? Is there the child who loved lullaby, the child who loved the tales from Panchatantra, the child who loved to hear the adventures of Sindbad the sailor? Is the child still there? Has his innocence, his curiosity, his love for the strange not been swallowed up by competitions, quizzes, different offers? Offers right from their student days for jobs, and last but not the least, has their innocence not been swallowed up by the vulgar pleasures, temptations doled out by certain sections of electronic media? It is a formidable question. But one thing we have to remember, that the basic psychological makeup of a child has not changed. A child needed the mother's love 5,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago when the Panchatantra was written, as much as he needs it today. A few years ago, a very brilliant American journalist, young journalist, Ann Landers, waged a war against the vulgar and the corrosive elements by which the children are being attacked by the media, by the electronic media. And her slogan was, "Will you like your child to eat garbage? No. If you don't want your child to eat garbage, how do you tolerate the garbage being put into the thoughts and the minds of the child, day in and day out, through all these vulgar presentations?" I don't think her movement quite succeeded, because it seems the world tide is something different. It is practically suffocating and taking the innocent aspiration of the child out. But let us not be disappointed. As I said a little while ago, the basic emotions of the child remain the same. The moment the child is born, the first cry the child gives, mystically speaking, is the assertion of faith. It is crying because it knows that the world is listening to my cry. There are people to respond to my cry and come out with affection and love to hold me. Let us not forget this basic demand of the child. And a child, when he is toddling up, when he is trying to walk, what does he need? Protection. The children's literature has to give protection to them, love to them. When the child is growing up, let us not believe that his entire personality is swept by the temptations, superficial temptations, and the vulgar invitations to very hedonistic pleasure. No, not like that. I will give you a small example, an instance. It really happened in Mumbai, that was called Bombay. Later on, it probably circulated as a piece of joke, I do not know. A young entrepreneur, a young businessman, whenever he comes back from his factory in the evening, he loves to chit-chat with his little child, aged about 11. For 1 hour, he will talk to him, try to find out what he learned in the school, what he did, etc., etc. One day the young father is asking the little boy, "What did you learn today in the school?" And the boy says, "Father, you will not be interested in it." "No, please tell me, what did you learn?" "Our teacher told us a story called Ramayana." "Ramayana? What is the story?" "Oh no, father, you will never be interested in it. Don't insist on learning about it." "No, please tell me what the story was." Well, the very reluctant child said, "Well, Baba, the hero and heroine went for picnic to the forest. Now the villain came, kidnapped the heroine. Now the hero sent an SOS to his friends and they came by helicopters and all that and rescued the heroine." "This is what your teacher told you as the story of the Ramayana?" the father is asking. Then the son says, very significant, "Father, what the teacher told me is immensely interesting, beautiful, but you will not believe that." That is to say, the son believes that the father has become so modernistic that he will not believe the real Ramayana. So he is editing it and telling for the sake of the father. A very significant. This wonderful child, the child's wonder, the child's need for adventure, for fantasy is not dead. It is still there. You see, a research scholar, Karen Wynne of Yale University, with her team, she led a beautiful experiment, very significant experiment. Children of 2 years in the cradle, they are shown very elaborately, this is elaborately written, produced. They are shown 2 symbols. One symbol is very good, it is trying to go up. Another symbol is trying to pull it down. After some time, both the symbols are shown to the child, and the child's automatic love and attraction goes for the symbol which is trying to go upward and forward and progress. The child's sense of the progressive, the positive, the welcome one is spontaneous. It is something inherent in the consciousness. We must not distrust this basic trait which remains embedded in the child's mind. My dear friends, you have to struggle against the odds, because people who write for the general audience, they are inspired by their own beliefs or their whatever they receive in their life as experience, they can present them. They are free to do it. You are not free to do it. You cannot give the child something which is corrosive to the child's consciousness. The children's writer have to be much more committed to the dharma of Srashta, the creator's basic duty, than any grown-up writer who feels quite free. Undoubtedly, we are living in a very unwelcome world atmosphere. You have to struggle not only to protect and promote the child's positive love for the good, which is inherent, as Wynne Canard's research showed, but at the same time, we have to protest against the hypocrisy and the total lack of responsibility of the world of we the elders. I will conclude with a small real life incident which is quite revealing. Some years ago, I think many years have passed meanwhile, there was in one of the states of India, a great poet's birth centenary was being celebrated. And Dr. Mulkaz Anand, Vijay Tendulkar, the late Prabhakar Basu, once the secretary of Sahitya Akademi, and myself, we were invited as guests. And we were received by the reception committee. Our first appointment was in the Vice Chancellor's residence for lunch. The seminar was to take place at the university, a few minutes walk from his residence. After the lunch, we are walking along the pavement, beautiful pavement overshadowed by flower creepers. The chairman of the reception committee, mayor of the city, is also walking with us. And suddenly we see a street urchin comes and holds on to a bullock cart. the rear of the bullock cart, and hanging himself, he is proceeding along with the bullock cart. The mayor shouts at the boy, get up, you will injure yourself. And the child lifts the bullock cart and runs away. I was happy that the mayor was so concerned about the child's, safety. We have just gone a little while, little ahead. We see the same child. That's the most bizarre, ugly film poster. In a naked way, it projects a certain scene from a film. The same child is picking up some pebbles and throwing at this poster, as if he's trying to separate the hero and the heroine. And Mr. Mayor shouts at the child, you naughty boy, what are you doing? And the child instantly runs away. And he turns towards me and says, see, Manoj Babu, a little child, how much of, filth is in his mind already. I will be very brief. I was in a mood to speak probably. I was holding a magazine in my hand. On the cover page of the magazine was reproduced a picture released by either UNESCO or by WHO. The picture was a horrible picture of a newborn baby clamped with an oxygen mask. It is to tell us the dangers of pollution, that how in future, as soon as the child is born, it is protected by the oxygen mask, otherwise it can't breathe properly. So that was the picture reproduced on the cover page of the magazine. I just held it before the mayor and said, Mr. Mayor, you say that the filth is in the child's mind. Look at this picture. Is this newborn baby responsible for what is happening to the atmosphere? Or people like you and me who have done this to this atmosphere? Who is the producer of that film? I used a very bad word. Who is the producer of the film? And who is the director who has decided to display it in public? Isn't the filth in their minds? You say the child who is provoked by the picture is and hurling stones at it, he is filled with filth. What do you mean? I have just concluded the question. We have reached the university. We enter the seminar hall. I take position. Behind me was a local professor. He leans forward and says, Manoj, what a faux pas, what a blunder you made. I said, why? Mr. Mayor is the producer of that picture. you can imagine. For the remaining 2 days, Mayor and myself, we avoided each other, of course. But that very night, I was asking myself the question, was his agony and anguish at the child's behavior false? No. He was really exercised. But what he did was, from the total map of a distorted society and life, he was cutting out his own role and reviewing and criticizing the role of the others. We all do that. How much are we contributing to the world which belongs to the child of today? How much are we doing to, contribute to a cleaner world, or how much are we doing to contribute to a, direct or indirectly, to an uglier world? I think this factor also has to be borne by the children's writers. While protecting the child, they have to also wage a war against this kind of tendencies. Dear friends, this is a festive occasion. Very much rejoice with all the award winners, and I congratulate the Sahitya Akademi for having, come out with this project of giving ovations to such writers who are writing we are writing for the present, they are writing for the future. The children will grow up into the future. I congratulate Sahitya Akademi, all the awardees. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.